Ladies and gentlemen, to Early Sports Stadium here on a wonderful day 2 of the NFC. That is the National Fastpitch Championship, presented to you by Softball New Zealand in conjunction with Ballpark, broadcasting live on Sky Sports Next YouTube platform. I'm Jason Gervais, aka Chopper. We're in game number 28 on the schedule. See the ball sail to the outfield, and it'll be the girls from down south, Southern Pride, who will be batting first in the top of the first innings here. Just underway in this match. They've just crossed for the second run of the ball game. We'll give you an update on how that's happened in just a second. But it's Southern Pride taking on Hutt Valley. Hutt Valley in their traditional green and gold in the field. In this one, they will be the home side, so they'll bat second. The Southern Priders with their red and I'm going to say bright orange colour in the top there. They're batting first here. Picked up 2 runs, as I mentioned. I'm Jason Gervais, a.k.a. Chopper. Joining me in the booth, though, Damien Collins. Firstly, Damien, welcome.
Thank you, Chopper. Thank you for having me. And I think that blue, it will be blue instead of red and orange. But, you know, that's just what we see. But, yeah, Southern Pride. We've had a couple games here today. And, man, they've got the goods. They've got 2 runs. We'll recap that shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, indeed. We might stay with you since we've got everything up and running now. Before we get into how those runs come across in the first innings, let's have a look at the firstly the lineup for each team, so we can run them down the schedule for you. And of course it'll be Hutt Valley that'll bat here in the bottom of the first innings. So let's have a look at their lineup first. You see Denver Short-Tate, shortstop, Sparkplug at the top of the order, followed by Caitlin Lewin playing out at right field. Laura Andrews marshalling third base today. Lace Tunga now on the other far side at first base. Ashley Johnson will hit 5, followed by Kitty Winata Inoka, second base and left field respectively. Palace Pot all the way down in the 7th spot, the slugger, designated player, and it'll be Leilani Tamai rounding out the batting order. Erin Blackmore here for Hutt Valley. It is Potter, apologies, just batting for the pitcher. Whangamai Luke Royal for Hutt Valley. Defensively, let's look at the Southern Pride lineup for you now. Left to right in the outfield, Tyann Bromley, Lamalu. And centre will be Isabel Thompson. Katie Smith will round out the outfield at right. Hot corner and third base for Southern Pride. That'll be Brooke Pennicott. Shortstop is Lily Nielsen. Visiting player from Counties Manukau picked up for Southern Pride. She is really good, especially with the bat. Hayley Munro at second. First base is Miller Glassy. Behind the dish, and this one will be Tessa Brown. And on the hill, Christchurch Lauren Sutherland. So a good lineup both for Southern Pride and Hutt Valley, and this one a battle of the islands, if you will, Damien.
Absolutely, Chopper. Hey, we're going into the bottom of the first innings here, and we've already got 2 runs on the board. Southern Pride coming up and you know, almost using that momentum that they had this morning and that good game that they had against Wellington. To start off, they got Tessa Brown on base with a walk. Then the sacrifice bunt from Sutherland moved her to second. Then there was another walk for Mila Glassy and the 3rd spot. Then there was an error. Denver Short-Tate made an error at shortstop, which moved the runners. They had 1 on 2. Tyann Bromhead Lemalu, she hit it to second base, and there was another error. So Hutt Valley already with 2 errors on the board, and because of those, they scored the runs, and that's how we have 2-0.
Well, there you go. There's your wrap up from the top of the first innings. Bottom of the first now, Hutt Valley, their first chance to bat, as we mentioned. Top of the shop, Denver Short Tate. This one's up on the outside edge. Lauren Sutherland, pick-up player for Southern Pride out of Christchurch. Of course, the new club down there, Kaiapoi, that has started up over the last couple of years. Boy, they are growing from strength to strength.
Sutherland played in left field in the first game, but she's on the hill here, ready to do the do.
Outstanding is Sutherland. We'll go anywhere she's asked. Comes from a strong background, the Sutherland family. We know her brother, one of the top pitchers, a little bit older than her, to be fair, but a lot of the top pitchers here in New Zealand. So great respect known to the Sutherland family. And I tell you what, though, Damien, great respect also going to this Southern Pride team.
Absolutely, Chopper.
We all know the big story yesterday, Little Sister v Big Sister, Southern Pride v Canterbury. It's a one-sided affair 99% of the times. Canterbury run away with it, but not in this case. Southern Pride, Pippin, Big Sister.
Absolutely. It was the talk of the town yesterday, going around the traps. Southern Pride beating the Canterbury Red Sox women's side. And even made it even more special for the Southern girls is that they got to face one of the best pitchers we've got in the country with Amy Begg. So, yeah, well done to the girls. And we had a couple in the booth earlier in the last game, and, yeah, they were all smiles.
Well, I'll tell you what, the pickup players for Southern Pride this year have really marked and made a difference. The Glassy sisters, Miller and Brooke, pitcher-catcher combination, prove a difference makers. I already mentioned Lily Nielsen, the shortstop for them. So there's a couple of additions there that are really, really making this team go the next step, and it's fantastic too to see. And of course, can't forget young Tyan Bromhead Lamalu, only about 15 or 16 years of age.
Yeah, she's definitely playing with a mature head on her shoulders. Against Wellington before, she was a dynamo with the bat, coming in as a designated player, but doing the job. There was a couple outs, but young lady finding her head, still got a long way to go. And there's a lot of stories of that this weekend. A lot of young ones out there. That themselves they'll think that they've got a lot to prove, but just being here in itself is pretty special.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the telecast. It's our complete pleasure to bring that to you, as we mentioned, on behalf of SkysportNext. Softball New Zealand, one of the dirts that allow Short Tate to scamper down to second base. So very quickly though, this Hutt Valley side, we haven't talked about their performances thus far. We're going to get to that. But we know their quality from 1 to 9. Given up too early in the match, they're going to want to try and answer right back, right? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, you just look at their lineup. It's a who's who of stellar players that we've got. And, this weekend is our elite players on display in the provincial colours. But, I mean, Denver Short Tate sliding into third. We know that name. That name's going to be around for a long time. And then, next batter up, we got Lara Andrews, Caitlin Lewin in there. She's had her time overseas as well, and she's going to be an up-and-comer and around for a lot of years to come.
Well, let's have a look at some of those results for Hutt Valley yesterday. Boy, oh boy, they played a couple of big boppers on the lineup on the women's side of the NFC. Hard one up the middle. Caitlin Lewin not mucking around here. Ricochets off the leg. That's an invitation. But she'll take the one run she drives in, and Hutt Valley now within one here. 2 runs to 1 of the Priders.
Caitlin, she would have seen a little inch there and maybe try to get that double. She loves to push the boundaries, that one, and you've called her a spark plug. You've called her all kinds of things over the years, and she absolutely is, and she's fun to watch.
Lara Andrews, one of the best players in the country, to be fair, captain of the White Sox, Sky Sports White Sox. Same as Andrews, first professional player in the United States as well. Off and running on the first pitch is Lewin, and a superwoman dive into second base looks successful.
Yeah, I'm sure I helped Lara get over to her first contract. Contract over in the States, considering her dad was my rugby coach at the time, and of course we had to buy a lot of fundraising. So,
oh well, someone's got to subsidise the plane ticket, and good on you, mate. She's well worth investing into. An outstanding ambassador for softball in New Zealand is Lara Andrews. Unsuccessful this time, she pops up to the pitcher, Sutherland.
Lara not too happy with that one. She knows she's better than that. To sky up, straight up to the pitcher. Lara, one of those ones that can find the gap, move the ball and move the runner, but just on that time, dropping the back shoulder and popping it sky high.
Well, that'll give a chance for the first basewoman now, Lace Tangiar now. Off to 3, the throw was wild. And Caitlin Lewin, we told you she doesn't need half an invite. She might have been Superwoman going into second, but she'll dig up the dirt coming into home to tie this one up 2-2.
She's one of those players every time. She's got a hell of a slide on her, and she does it with finesse, but every time she comes up dirty, massive smile on her face as well.
I'd hate to have to pay her laundry bill, that's for sure. Because every game we watch her, she gets dirty, doesn't she? And that's the thing, I think, why we like her so much.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, check out the elbows by the end of the tournament as well, I reckon.
Oh, plenty of claret being spilt. But she just plays the game with just raw energy, and I think that's something we find exciting. I do, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Straight.
One on the outside edge here from Lauren Southern. Good corner as he here from the home plate umpire. We've got a good umpiring crew on this one. It's fantastic to have them along. We've got just an outstanding level of umpires here, all international, a whole bunch of them. Inside outswing will punch this to centre field, and at the moment for Hutt Valley, everything dropping in the right direction.
Absolutely. Tangiar now getting a piece of that, falling just shallow centre. Nobody able to get to that. And of course, they've already clawed back the 2 runs, so now they're just going to be putting that foot down and showing Southern Pride just who's got more experience on this diamond.
Umpiring crew, Rebecca Taylor behind the dish, calling the balls and strikes down at first base. 1 or 2 is Ray Dyson. And North Harbour's own Kevin Sheehy officiating it too.
Straight.
Sutherland gets a lead pitch on the inside edge against Ashley Johnson, second basewoman for Hutt Valley.
Now you've mentioned the umpires. I know we've said it before, but how good is having the umpires mic'd up? I love it.
Gives you an insight, doesn't it, of what's happening down there. Of course, we can call what we see, but if you can't hear or get inside that conversation, and to be fair, a lot of the times it can be quite humorous.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what, Damien, sorry to interrupt. I've got to take my hat off to these umpires, though, for allowing us to step into their world. Not a lot of officials around the world will allow that to happen, so cap tip to
absolutely.
New Zealand's umpires.
Yeah, no, they're good people. I know it's not the easiest job in the world, you know, and they do get their fair share of things thrown at them. But we've got some great umpires, and they're here this weekend, the best of the best, to make sure that our elite players get the best. I always love at ELE because of that net when a foul ball and you just watch the people like I love it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, man, but look, I've been calling these games for a long time now. I still flinch at the foul ball. The radar knots. Young Lauren Sutherland throws out. You'd flinch too, I'd say.
Oh,
change
no,
up.
I would.
Centerfield's got a fair way to go. She'll get underneath it though and make the catch, does Isabel Thompson.
Isabel Thompson from Invercargill. We had her in the booth before, and I was asking them how they're finding it going from down south up until the elite, and these girls have been playing men all their life, so they play in the Premier grade with the boys, so they're well used to the grind of it all.
Well, thinking outside the box, thinking outside the square. I'd say that's one thing I've always thought about athletes from the Southland, or the lower part of the Southland, even Christchurch, to be honest with you, intelligent ball players. And they do think outside the square, seem to be innovative in their play as well as organisation.
Well, they're definitely well represented there this weekend.
Off and running. And the throw just a little bit wide. Nielsen couldn't get to it. Thompson will have to mop it up at centre field, but that will allow the young speedster, Tangiar, now to go all the way around to third base.
Yeah, she didn't even hesitate. Once that ball went off that glove, she knew she was going to push it sliding into third. And giving Hutt Valley a runner in scoring position.
Winiata Inoka will continue in the batter's box here against Sutherland.
Straight.
Yeah, right down the edge, right down the tram line. If a pitcher can hit that successfully, 90%, they're going to have a good day, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about hitting your spots, and early they have they're getting used to the zone early from the umpires, and
big ranging catch, and it's a rolling, diving catch at right field. Boy, the outfielders are really picking up their game here. Fantastic to see. Right fielder for the Southern Pride was Katie Smith out there, and that's a fine way to finish the bottom of the first inning. More importantly, it keeps the score tied at 2 runs apiece.
yeah, Hutt Valley, you know, they clawed back those 2 easy enough, but at the end of the day, they've left the runner on, and that's not what they want to do. With the experience that Hutt Valley have, they want to take it to this Southern team nice and early.
Well, there you go. That'll do us through 1 complete. We'll be back with the top of the second. And just a stop.
You've been in your mind, inside your space.
Within the ELE group, we have a range of companies and a very wide range of people. We have 3 core values: growing together. That means with our staff, our stakeholders, and of course with people like you, our customers. Building tomorrow today to build a better tomorrow for us and our customers. And thirdly, keeping it real. Doing things that are going to work for everybody, and being mindful of the fact that we're not a corporate, we still have a family feel about our business.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ELE Sports Stadium here on day 2 of a 4-day national fast-pitch competition here. And 2 of the heavy hitters in the competition are going head-to-head, Southern Pride and Hutt Valley. Southern Pride of the region from basically Dunedin down to Invercargill and in and around those regions as well. Hutt Valley, as you know, is on the northern side of Wellington, going up into the valley, hence the name. And let me bring in my fellow commentator. He's a Hutt Valleyan himself. What would you call Hutt Valley?
Paradise.
Fair enough. One word. Keep it simple. Can't beat.
You know
This
me,
one
I
pops up.
love home. I love home.
And why not? You can't beat Hutt Valley and Wellington on a beautiful day of summer.
Cliched as it is.
Because there's not many of them. Those spots. No,
Whoa,
it's a beautiful
whoa.
spot. I've been spending a bit of time down there recently. Fantastic. Great people too. 1 and 2 the count here. Lead-off batter for Southern Pride in the top of the second innings. At the end of this, weak ground ball that takes a nasty hop. But Sure Tate does well to keep her body behind it and makes the throw in time.
And that's the experience of Short Tate. She knew it was going to bounce. She knew it was going to be ugly, and she knew how to take it. Even just talking to her teammates there about almost catching it in the face. But she has the cannon, and she used it to first. And Tangiā now just reaching out just to save that split second.
Senior veteran, just moved to Dunedin in the last year or two. Aucklander originally. Katie Smith now. Rid of this one goes foul. Slowly down the roof.
Straight.
Good pitch from Luke Royal, hitting that inside zone. Puts Smith in the hole early.
Down low. Mentioned the batting lineup for Hutt Valley. Let's just run across that fielding lineup for you for them. So left to right in the outfielders, Kitty Winata Inoka. Inside out swing. Johnson will come forward to shovel this over the second basewoman. Centre field for Hutt Valley is Erin Blackmore. Right field is Caitlin Lewin. Hot corner third base is Lara Andrews. Denver Short Tate at shortstop. As we just saw, Ashley Johnson at 2. At first base today for Hutt Valley is Lace Tangau. Now behind the dish is Kiara Leilani Taimai. Just moved down to Wellington and straight into the NFC side. Great to see for her. But on the hill, one of our favourites for sure. The daughter of one of the crew, Rongamai Luke Royal.
We're not biased at all.
Gave Dad Adrian the game off this one. So he can do exactly that, Damien. Sit out there and be a dad.
Oh, he is. He looks like he's comfortable. He's got his coffee. Still wearing the Ballpark Broadcasting shirt, though. I like it.
Good man, Adrian. Volunteers a lot towards this great game of softball in New Zealand, especially in that paradise you call Hutt Valley.
Home sweet home.
Member of the Te Aroha Softball Club, and to be fair, they are a powerhouse when it comes to softball in the Hutt Valley region. Luke Royal, up the middle, sows the ball, good drive. And if it wasn't for Blackmore at centre field, that would have gone all the way to the fence.
Yeah, Erin Blackmore covering some distance in the centre field and getting it on the one bounce on the run back. So stopping the run from getting what could have been easily 2 bases is just the one.
Oh, Tessa Brown with that drive to centre. With 2 outs here, they'll allow a temporary runner to come on for her. So she can go back and put on the protective equipment and come out and ready for the bottom of the second innings. The designated runner, Samantha Fawcett-Kay. Up the bat now, the pitcher hitting for herself, Lauren Sutherland.
Strike.
I always love seeing a pitcher that can hit. Let me do everything, coach.
Put me in, put me in. Take me out to the ball game. Tell you what, just so many great cliches around the game of softball here and around the world, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Strike.
And to be fair, I know when you get to the elite status that the pitchers do not get to bat as much because they want them to focus on working on their game as pitchers, because it's such a critical part of defensive side of the game of softball. But when you think about it, Adrian, look at my dad's Adrian. When you think about it, my friend Damien, is that sometimes the pitcher, when they're created in those junior levels, normally your best player, because like the one that can hit and run, but you can also learn to pitch, and you can, so you don't want to lose that person. He used to be a great hitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some pitchers still are great hitters, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we see that on the men's side of the program, one of the greatest to play the game ever in New Zealand, Jared Martin, who was a true two-way player.
Oh, absolutely.
And then if you look on the women's side, one of the recent Sky Sports White Sox players, she'll be joining us in the booth for the next couple of matches, Jennifer Ferret-Beer. Here's a hard hit ball, and no wonder Sutherland gets the bat. Going coast to coast is Fawcett-Kay, the runner. And I tell you what, if my pitcher batted like that, she would be hitting too.
Well, Sutherland just putting it out of reach of Blackmore, but she gave everything she had to get over to that ball, just out of reach with the slide.
Time.
But cleaned up by Winiato Noko. But unfortunately, you know, the runners will advance, and that's the name of the game. So the Pride with 2 runners in scoring position.
No.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's always interesting listening in to Rebecca Taylor, home plate umpire. She always gets on very well, great communicator. But it's an important stage of the game. Southern Pride scored 2 runs in the top of the first innings. I know there's 2 outs here, but there's 2 runners in scoring position. And head coach for Hutt Valley, Craig Wallace, recognised that, come out, took time out, passed on a couple of things, but probably more just to settle down. He wants this next out, doesn't he, without leaking a run?
Oh, absolutely. Wally's been around the game for a long, long time. He's worn many hats, and some of them have that silver fern on it. He knows the game inside and out, and that's all he would have been doing. You know, it's the second innings. They gave up 2 in the first. They don't want to do it here in the second, or else it's just going to be one of those games, and just calming it down and letting his players do the job, because, you know, the average age out there, he's giving some young ones a shot out there, which is great to see.
Well, not so young anymore is Miller Glassy.
It's a bit rough, Chop.
Only just because of the, not age, just experience. Young Miller Glassy, of course,
state there, mate.
was a representative for the Junior White Sox that went away to the U19 World Cup held in Irvine, California. Incredible 7th place finishing at that event. And she was one of the starting catchers. She's a battler, I tell you what. She can also talk a mile a minute.
Catches, isn't it, Chopper?
It is, indeed. You know, they tend to be one of the most entertaining, and part of the catcher's job, well, I think it is to try and pick the brain of the batter before they get in the box. Batter's box, that is. And maybe see if there's something going on. I always thought when I was a catcher, if I could get the batter to answer me or talk to me, I'm not focusing on hitting the ball.
Yeah. I love catchers that talk because I love talking. So if you want to talk to me, sweet. I'm still going to hit it. Well, I'll try at least.
3-2. I think they already got to you already. Full count here on Glassy. Hard hit ball going to the fence. And a fine catch ranging over to a left-hand side first basewoman, Lace Tangi now. That'll nullify the threat. Looks like the coaching conference from Craig Wallace worked a charm. That'll do us through the top of the second innings. Bottom of the second coming up next. We have more action from here live at the NFC National Fastpitch Championship.
At Pack and Save, we're always looking for ways to cut costs and save you money. So we're taking all the yellow out of this ad. Hit it, guys! Yeah, that might be a bit much. Can we put a little... That's better. Pack and Save, our policy...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ELE Sports Stadium. We're off to a ripper of a game here between two of the heavyweights in New Zealand softball, Hutt Valley and Southern Pride. 2-2 ball game, 2 hits each. Interesting enough, Damien Collins joining me in the booth, 2 errors each.
Yeah, the first innings saw 2 errors, two of our players that you wouldn't think they would go next to an E. But yeah, no, it happened and they scored, and it just shows that you've got to be on your toes and you can't give an inch in this one, because here at NFC, people will take you down for it.
Got to be on your game. You're dead right, Damien. Just so difficult to get around some of these teams. They bring a lot of experience. The NFC National Fastpitch Championships, not only, I guess, like your traditional provincial championship, it's better than that. Why is it better than that? Hard hit ball here. This is deep. Potter, though, undone by Katie Smith at right field. It was Katie Smith at right field. We've clarified that one. So good outfield here for Southern Pride. Potter, not normally in the 7th spot in the batting order, but boy, oh boy, when she punches it, it gets hit.
Oh, well, there was a hit against Wellington earlier that it was just massive. It just smacked it in between left and right and left and centre, and that's what she does, you know. So going down the order, there's a game plan there from Wally, but we know Pelly can do the job when she needs to.
Catcher now for Hutt Valley. Sees the first pitch come outside the zone. Kiara Leilani Tamai. West Aucklander.
Oh, yeah.
Moved down to Wellington to study.
Well, I moved to move. I didn't move to study.
Go!
I was also 10. But West Aucklander.
She watches the next pitch come through. Even up the count now. Gets on the back end of one, but I tell you what, if you want to find a bit of grass in the outfield against Southern Pride, you might want to keep it away from the centre fielder Isabel Thompson. She's playing really well.
Yeah, Isabel, she still a young lady, but she's got a cannon. I've seen her been warming up and just effortlessly throwing that ball around, but she's got wheels as well, and she knows how to cover the gaps, and nothing has been getting past her.
Karen Blackmore now. Slotted in number 9 in the batting order, the centre fielder. My time watching Erin Blackmore perform at the elite level, she always seems to be one that starts something, and maybe a little unorthodox at times.
Yeah, no, she definitely has that.
Inside out swing. And this time, a good backhand from the second basewoman from Southern Pride. Hayley Munro undoes her, and it's uneventful for Hutt Valley here in the bottom of the second innings. All done nice and quickly. We'll come back with the top of the third. We're all locked up, but we've got some special guests coming in all the way from the 04. The girls from Wellington coming in shortly. We'll bring them in the booth. We can find out what they've been up to, why they're playing so well. Back to you shortly for more action from the NFC. Well, just like that, Hutt Valley have tied the ball game, as we know, in the bottom of the first innings. But it was the Pride that scored first, and they'll send up, as you can see here, one of the top hitters out of the Auckland competition. Up and comer with that hit is Liddy Nelson. So really good for Southern Pride. This pops up to Denver Shaw Tate. Quick out here for Southern Pride, but one away. Still got a runner in scoring position. They're going to send up now. We've been talking about her quite a bit today. The centre fielder, Isabel Thompson.
Yeah, the young centre fielder has been doing the job in the field, most definitely finding the gaps with the bat before. And here she will be wanting to do the same.
Oh, fantastic. I told you we got a bit of a treat for you here as we see Thompson take the first pitch in and tight. We've got a couple of ladies joining us from Wellington. We'll start first with Hope Weber. Kia ora, Hope.
Kia ora, how's it going?
Fantastic. We're hearing you loud and clear there. Hope, day 2 NFC, and I know you've been to a couple of these now. But yeah, but you know, day 2, I always felt when I was playing at a tournament, day 2 is kind of a tough day. What is your goal? Not just for you, but also for the team on day 2.
Day 2 is definitely to stay hydrated and then to just do any work-ons from the previous day that we can do better on the field. I believe that's a big thing to do as a team. Yeah. And the team thus far through 1.5 days, what's your thoughts? Oh, we're definitely a strong hitting team this year. I think, yeah, we're doing great. Definitely playing as a unit, even though we haven't had many trainings together. Definitely come well together.
two big games on day 2. You've had Hutt Valley and you've got Southern Pride.
Yes.
So how are you feeling about today's games?
Oh yeah, definitely feeling good about today. It's been a while since we've won against the Hutt, so that was a pretty big win for us. So we're pretty stoked about that.
What was the change in that game because it was so close?
I guess the change is that we play them week in, week out.
Yep.
It's a little bit like New South Wales versus Queensland. We're pumped.
Wait a minute. Are you a New South Wales or Queensland supporter? Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. Keep on going, sister.
And I guess coming down to belief, lots of the girls in our team, we do have a young unit, but we also have girls that have been here, last 10 years. So just sharing that experience and the knowledge has made a huge difference to the units we have. And we're on the same level, and we're having a real good vibe at the moment. Really liking it.
With every tournament, it's a chance to come together, etc. But you have talked about that balance. How are the younger ones finding the top grade?
They actually pick things up really quick. There are a couple of them that need to have things repetitively said, but that just comes down to being young, and obviously your focus can obviously go off every now and then. We do have a young girl called Arini, and she's come up amazing for us. She also plays baseball, but what a kid to watch. Tui Aroha Franson, she's a young kid as well, 16 years old. We saw her have a couple of illegal pitches, but that's nothing. Once she gets the hang of that, we're going to be good.
Well, Hutt Valley will get a start here in the bottom of the 3rd innings. And they're at the top of the shop here to be Deborah Shortake, Caitlin Lewin and Lara Andrews. So a good chance for them to try and post a lead for the first time in the ball game. Two lovely ladies in the booth here with us visiting from the Wellington NFC side. And we have, of course, Hope Weber and Apirera Stone in here with us. And it's great to have their insight. I want to just ask you mentioned Arini Landon Lane. Boy, oh boy, look in your lineup. She's hitting in the full spot. She had in the park home run in the game before the last. Boy, could you ask much more out of a young? She's only about 17 years of age.
She's 16.
16. Okay, this is just getting unfair.
I guess, when you are young and you're coming up, you want to step up. You want to be there with the senior players. And for her, she's real cool, calm and collective, and that's something that we can't teach. So naturally, she's got a gift, and it's up to us to be able to develop that gift by showing her how we play.
One of the things Dames was saying before about having this experienced campaigners in your squad, like the two of you, and then this youth, this one drops in for Shaw Tate. What are some of the things that you guys do, maybe not so much in the game, but outside of the game, to bring those younger youth players into your way of thinking or team culture?
Well, we're always having chats with them, actually, like back at the hotel, just reassuring them that the things that they are doing is what we ask for them to do. They do get a little bit upset if something doesn't come off, but that's just part of learning. So we always acknowledge and give them that reassurance that, hey, it's all part of learning. You'll get it the next time. Let's go.
So as we get closer to the end of day 2, where to from here for you guys? What would you like to do, as in work-ons, or obviously we want to go to the final and win it, but I mean, overall as a squad, what are the goals here?
Our goal would be just to stay tight as the unit that we've been at. The communication is key for us. I don't know if you see it on the live stream, but all of us are talking, and you need your team to be talking in the pressured situations, because if you stop the comms, that's where mistakes are going to come. So if we keep our unit tight on and off the field, and we stay happy, we're going to get it.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it at all, for sure. Well, you tell us, how are you going to get it against the next game of the day today? You're obviously going to be up against one of the powerhouse associations in Canterbury. We know they're strong. Amy Big, I don't know who will get the start on the hill, but they always seem to be trouble. How do you combat an association or franchise like Canterbury?
I think just going into the game and just thinking she's a nobody, like
respectfully, I understand that.
She's
Yep.
definitely a mate. But yeah, we're just going to keep coming hard and keep coming aggressively. We're going to hit that ball. And then defensively, we've definitely got the place to back it up.
We don't actually put too many pitches on a pedestal. Our job is to do the basics, see the ball hard. So as long as we keep reiterating that and not keeping too much focus on the pitcher and worrying about ourselves, we'll just keep coming up strong.
Well, fantastic. Sounds like a good plan to me. I tell you what, I don't know about you, Damien, but I want to play for the Wellington team. They sound like an awesome team to be around. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming in today. We really appreciate your time and giving us an insight. I guess the last thing before you go is we see a long drive. That'll be a catch, though. Short eight will go to 3 on it. Any last things you'd like to say to maybe your supporters or fans of whānau back home?
Oh, just thanks for the support for the Wellington team. We're getting a lot of messages through, and yeah, we'd just like to say thank you for the support, and hopefully you keep supporting us.
I just also want to say hi, Mum. Miss you, and I miss my kitty cat, Matariki.
There you go. Matariki holiday coming up next year too. Looking forward to that one. Well, there you go. Up in Edda Stone and Hope Weber, thank you for your time. We'll wish you the best of luck for the rest of the NFC.
Thanks.
Oh, back to the action, down to the diamond. Fantastic to get those insights, though, Damien, from the teams and the players are making themselves available for it.
Oh, mate, it's just awesome. And always love how nervous they are when they're coming in. It's like, oh, there's no cameras, is there? Whatever. And then when you just get them talking, they're talking about the game they love. They've played their whole life. You don't have to overthink it.
This one's high, and it's the miss on the cue all the time today. Miss Thompson at centre field. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, she's going to rack up more outs than the pitcher today, I reckon.
Yeah, Bells, she is making sure that that's her position in the centre field, making no mistake about everything that's been hit to her, and that's what you need.
Well, there you go. That's us through 3 complete. No score for either side in the third innings. We'll be back with the top of the fourth and more action from the NFC.
Within the ELE group, we have a range of companies and a very wide range of people. We have 3 core values: growing together. That means with our staff, our stakeholders, and of course with people like you, our customers. Building tomorrow today to build a better tomorrow for us and our customers. And thirdly, keeping it real. Doing things that are going to work for everybody and being mindful of the fact that we're not a corporate, we still have a family feel about our business.
That's okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ELE Sports Stadium. Got ourselves a tight one. The Priders picked up 2 runs in the top of the first innings. Hutt Valley struck right back. Left 2 runners on base after scoring 2 runs. Locked it 2-2 here as we go into the top of the fourth innings. Damien, this one, I don't know about you, too hard to pick.
Way too hard to pick, Chopper. We're at the top of the fourth. Yes, just double checking because I screwed it up before. But yep, definitely top of the fourth. 2 apiece. 2 runs in the first innings to Hutt Valley. The Southern Pride to start off the game. And a big hit to Kiri Winiarta Noka in left field. Will get the first out. Brooke Pennicott.
Rongamai Luke Royal continues on the hill here for Hutt Valley. Good up-and-coming pitcher. I had the pleasure of meeting Rongamai at a very young age, 14 years of age. And was one of the first under-15 national tournaments I attended. My daughter was playing in, and it was Wellington Hutt Valley in the final. Rongamai was the pitcher for Hutt Valley at the time. And just trying to remember the young lass from Wellington. Te Kupu Waiarangi, I think her last name was. I'm just trying to remember exactly. Anyway, they were going hammer and tong. It was an amazing, these 14-year-olds pitching, but then batting and stealing bases. Neither of them wanting to back down again. It was just one of those battles. When you see a really good battle, it just goes backwards and forwards and backwards. Went extra innings. The crowd was all over the place. And look, it was such a good game. I can't even remember who won now. But boy, oh boy, I do remember that it was Rongamai was one of the pitchers on the hill that day.
Outstanding, mate. And isn't it just so good, like with the ages that we've got out there? I know we've got a lot of vets out there this weekend helping out, but it just really puts our sport, especially with the females, in good stead with all these young up-and-comers, amazing 16, 17, 14-year-olds, you know?
Yes, it is. And it's fantastic to see the youth coming through. I completely agree with you, Damien. Katie Smith just flies out to left field for the second out here in the top of the innings. I'll tell you what, the first innings took a bit of time. Both teams causing some errors on each side with under pressure. And then, of course, 4 runs coming through the first innings, 2 apiece.
Strike.
But this game has really sped up since then.
Absolutely, Chopper. They're not giving each other anything. You know, that first innings, you always try and feel each other out. What do they like to hit? Where should I not pitch it? Etc., etc. But, you know, they've really taken notes of each other, and they're giving each other a good battle.
Well, they are indeed. Southern Pride playing out of their skins in this tournament. I mean this respectfully, Southern Pride normally a franchise that will finish in the mid-section of the tournament. Well, not this one, I'll tell you. They have sent warning bells around the traps, especially with that win over Canterbury yesterday. If they can pip undefeated Hutt Valley here,
One ball.
remember it's
Strike.
2-2 halfway through this match, 7 innings, no time limit at NFC. That will really, if they were setting warning bells before, they'll be setting a tsunami warning next.
They're here to play. They've shown that, you know, they've shown that with a couple narrow losses yesterday. They had that win over Canterbury. That gave them the motivation that they need to go into this day. They took it to Wellington. Unfortunately for them, Wellington had a massive innings, and that's what it came down to in that game. But if they can hold off for this 2-2 and just get
3 balls. 2 strike.
those gaps, who knows? We could be in for a hell of a finish.
It's setting itself up that way, that's for sure. High ball, driven into the ground. Andrews there. It's got to be a quick release, and it's better than that. It is lightning fast. The same with the top of the 4th innings. Moving nice and quick now as we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 between the Priders from the south and the girls from the valley, the Hutts. It's a beautiful day at ELE Sports Stadium near Rosedale Ballpark on Auckland's North Shore for game number 28 on the schedule. Southern Pride taking on Hutt Valley. Halfway through this one, can't decide a margin between the two of them. It's 2 runs apiece at this point. I know I put you under the spotlight before about what do you think, where the result's going to go. Is there any chance you're even further along, your thought pattern on that with these two teams?
Wow. No, you know, the Hutt always gonna say Hutt, but look, let's be honest, it's gonna come down to experience. We're in the 4th here. Hutt Valley might put on the burners here. They might, you know, try and punch the holes, try and play the short game, because smacking it into the outfield isn't working, because the outfielders are there to catch it. Hutt Valley need to make the plays now and use that experience that they've got, that we know is right throughout their team list.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 4th innings. Ashley Johnson be followed by Kitty Winauta Nota, Anoka,
Strike.
and the big slugger Palace Potter. 1, 2, 3 here for the Valley.
Johnston 2 wise to that one. We'll leave the inside pitch. Featuring of the game.
This one's deep off the bat of Johnson. And again, just as you said, Damien, don't hit it to the centre fielder, Isabel Thompson, because she's like a vacuum out there. Anything that's in the air, she's going to make it, isn't she?
Well, at the moment, she is doing the outfield by herself, you know, because they keep on hitting it to her. Even just outside a couple metres either side of her, she's getting there. She's making the grounds. And, you know, Hutt Valley, they're obviously showing that they can bat the ball, and yes, they can send it out, but they're going to have to put it on the ground and try and find some gaps. if they're going to get, put some breathing space in between them too.
Little change, curve action. Lauren Sutherland, starting pitcher for the Southern Pride, has gone the whole way here into the 4th innings.
It's making me laugh how many pitchers smile after their change-ups. Like, yep, I tried it. What do you reckon?
Well, it looks like she's enjoying herself out there, isn't she?
It does. It's a lot easier to pitch if you're enjoying yourself, Chopper.
Come on.
Two balls and 1 strike here.
Strike.
And this one comes through, levels up their count. Winiato Noka flew out to right field. One time it doesn't go to Thompson at centre. It was Katie Smith on that occasion.
2-2.
Ground ball over the top. Going
Bravo.
foul down the line though.
Kitty, another young one. In the junior White Sox setup. Plays for Saints in the Hutt Valley. But originally from HK. Urewhenua Kapiti. Via Otaki.
Hard hit ball to shortstop. Nielsen with a strong arm over to first base. I'll tell you what, Damien, we might have seen a few faux pas in the field in the first innings from both sides, but they've really played some tidy defensive softball since then, haven't they?
Oh, they've really tidied everything up. Both teams here. Both teams. They, they gave their first innings to just get rid of the cobwebs or shake off the last game or whatever they had to do, but they've really come in tight now with 3 or 4 batters stepping up every innings. We're in the deep in the 4th now.
First pitch. Potter pops it up to the shortstop, and this game continues to move quick. We're going to stay with you here because I want to ask you a couple of questions, Damien. You've been to a number of these NFC championships now. This Golden Homes NFC 2021 edition. What's your thoughts on the standard of play you've seen this week so far?
Well, so far, I've absolutely loved it. I've actually been a fan here, Chopper. You know me, I love the game and I love what we do, whether it be announcing or commentating, but I've actually been catching myself just watching softball and enjoying it, seeing some of the big names that are in the Black Sox setup that are playing for their provinces, or some of the legends that have come back. And it's just, this is what it is. National Fastpitch Championship. It is the elite of our country.
Well, the standard has been outstanding, and no wonder you become a fan while you're calling the game. And I think that's the key. We can hear that in your commentary, Damon. It's a pleasure to have you in the booth all the way up from Hutt Valley, trying to be unbiased on this call, of course, but can't help but your homeland is your homeland. But we've got a good one going on in front of us. We saw Southern Pride as they come off the field there in a huddle. What would they be talking about?
They're just, they've got this far. It's the top of the 5th. It's still 2 apiece. They're still against a quality side. I mean, if anyone's going to step up against Hutt Valley, you're playing a quality side. And as the ladies from Wellington say before, maybe try not to put them on pedestal. You are playing a team, and anyone can have that shot on the day. And I think that's what they'll be doing. Keep enjoying themselves. Keep on doing the things they're doing. And don't make it too difficult.
Don't make it too difficult and enjoy yourself. Sounds like a plan to me. Lauren Sutherland, Miller Glassy, and Lily Nelson will kick off the 5th innings here for the Priders.
And the Pride have actually been the team that have been putting it on the deck, but apart from left field, but that the fielding of Hutt Valley has just been exceptional.
Beautiful day here locally at ELE Sports Stadium. The breeze just getting up a little, blowing towards left field, I suppose, a little bit, maybe from first base to left field. So it will be of a little bit of assistance for the right-handed hitters, as in Sutherland is here.
Yeah, stunner down at the ballpark today.
Just off the end of the bat. Perfect location from Luke Boyle on the hill there. Anything away, it's hard to get good meat on the bat, if you like.
Yeah, well, she's got the batters chasing just outside the zone. They're reaching and popping it up or popping it foul, and there's been a couple caught down the first baseline which have gone foul that now it's an out. And there we go again.
First pitch, no chance to make this one. Get the first base woman. Malaglassi walked back in the first innings, then popped up to the pitcher, who's second at bat. Steps back in to go to work here against the young starting pitcher from Hutt Valley. The boy comes with some credentials. Rung by Luke Royal.
Could you imagine going to the National Fastpitch Championship and pitching at 16? Well, you're a catcher, so probably not, but again.
No, one off the end of the bat. Luke Royal at the moment just dialing it. And
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say that she's beating them with pace. Her pace is good, but she is beating them with location and spin, isn't she?
Yeah, she is definitely changing up. She's using the whole zone. You know, you see the handles as she wheels over. It's different every time. She knows her pitches. She's backing her pitches, and she's throwing them in the right zone.
Lily Nelson caused an error by the shortstop back in the first innings, and then drove one to get on base. And just a quick timeout there from Kara Taimai, the catcher, to talk to the pitcher. And warranted too, because this young Nelson's going to be a really good hitter as she grows up. She's only 18 years of age. Already playing at a good level at the senior championship.
I just hope we keep all these players in the game, because can you imagine NFC in a couple years? Wow.
Strike.
Brilliantly dropped in the zone there. Nielsen thinking against it, probably shouldn't have. Hits the zone.
1 strike.
2 balls, 1 strike, as you heard.
This one hard hit. It's another hit for Nielsen. I'll tell you what, the way she's hitting the ball, Damien, won't be long before Roman Gabriel and the Sky Sports White Sox start tapping on her shoulder.
Yeah, it was a good hit to left field. It looks like there's been a change in at left field. Matangi coming in. So leaving it bounce, which hasn't happened for a while, to be honest. She will give her a base hit.
We're looking for some more action again, and she's right underneath it. This time is going at the first pitch was Tyann Bromhead Lamalu. So held scoreless again in the top of the 5th innings. It'll be Hutt Valley going to their huddle. Damien now looking to come up with their plan on how they're going to crack this goose egg against each other. What will be some of the things that Lara Andrews and the coaching staff, Craig Wallace, what will they be saying to their squad from Hutt Valley?
Well, I hope it's like before. You know, use the bat, use the gaps, put the ball on the ground, make them field it instead of just standing there and catch the ball. You know, put a bit of heat on this Pride side and use the sticks and use them like they know how to use them.
First 3 batters for Hutt Valley when we come back, Damon, will be the catcher, Kiara Leilani Tamai, Erin Blackmore, and then back to the top, Denver Shaw Tate. With those matters in mind, if you were coaching the side, what strategy would you use?
Well, Tamai, she did send the ball in the outfield earlier, but you know Blackmore, she can spark a game.
Yeah.
Whether it be short-handed, finding a bit of green just in shallow outfield, or just finding a gap in the infield, and then you know when short take can come around, she can put the ball down, she can put the ball in play, and she can move it, and she can move the wheels as well. So
sounds like a good plan to me. Damien Collins, expert advice here in the booth for the NFC. Here we go, bottom of the 5th innings. Let's see if it comes true.
Strike.
Sutherland continues to throw the ball with reckless abandonment through the strike zone. Starts this one off on the positive side. It'll change your pace. There's that smile you talk about. I tell you what, it's almost like you know it's coming. You just got to wait for the smile to come on her face.
Yeah. Well, Sutherland on the mound, she's had a hell of a game, you know. I mean, the most pitches she faced was that first inning, and then 3 batters, 4 batters, 3 batters. Good catching from Brown behind the dish.
Good defence all around, hasn't it? And you can see the girls, plenty of communication, just like up here Stone was talking about. Got to have good comms out there, but they're really, really all on the same page at this point.
And you need to be chopped.
Inside out swing. Second base, sun will be in her eyes, but she will make that catch. Hayley Munro. That's why she's got those Oakleys on her face.
Oh, yeah, and that's this time of the day, the sun is definitely right in their face at second base. The right field, the second base, they'll be looking straight into that sun at this time of the day. But she probably had the girls talking around her, and she made the catch. Erin Blackmore with 1 out. Can Blackmore be the spark that Hutt Valley need to get back into this ball game? And they're not out of the ball game, it's 2-2, but just to get it going.
Bunt is down. Well, you talked about Blackmore doing something, and here we go, a bit of confusion down here.
Time.
Just listening to Rebecca Taylor.
I didn't see anything there but pass.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. She's going to bring in the umpires and check to see did it touch her outside of the batter's box. This is Blackmore, the batter.
So the coach is asking for getting hit by the ball out of the box. I didn't see anything.
Okay, from my perspective,
Yep.
I can't tell the judgment.
All right.
So I don't
So
have a clear
regional
and
call
obvious.
stands.
I do not have
Okay.
a clear and obvious.
Regional call stands.
Well, there you go. As you can see, a little insight. Original call stands. Good to see Rebecca Taylor taking the time to be able to find out from his fellow umpires if they saw anything different. It didn't look like a touch there to me, but what it did look like, Damien, just like you said, she invents things. A quick running bunt, try and catch that defensive unawares, and now she's on board. And that's what I think they needed, was to lay the table for their top of the order, and Denver Shaw Tate knows how to deliver it, as you said.
Absolutely. You know, Blackmore, I thought she might punch it out.
Because she ain't got 2 strikes in her.
You know, I thought possibly maybe that's the way she was going to go. But Blackmore, she's got wheels. She can put a nice bunt down. And just as you saw, she had the bounce on to get ahead of the ball early. And now that's why she's safe on first base. Denver Shaw Tate. She's quality.
Well, here we go, back into the action here. 1 away. Blackmore down to first base. Shaw Tate to face Sutherland. Off of the first pitch. And she is stone cold. Steve Austin going into second base. What a throw from the catcher. Boy, that's a cannon out of the arm of Tessa Brown.
Oh, hell yeah, that was. Straight down, and the shortstop, Lily Nielsen, prime position there to receive the ball into the glove and straight into the tag in one motion.
Defensively, gems left, right and centre here from both squads. Hard hit ball. Blackmore would have scored on that if she was safe on the steal.
Definitely with
What
the
a
wheels.
difference a good defensive play makes. Good hit anyway there for Hutt Valley.
Shaw Tate, she knows how to place the ball, and that's where she did, in between that gap of centre and right. It'll be enough to get her on base and send up the dynamo that is Lewin.
Well, you don't see too many left-handed catches like Tessa Brown for Southern Pride, and the reason why they tend to shy away from a left-handed catcher is when there is a steal, like there was an attempted steal in the last batter. Going at the first pitch, long way to go for Katie Smith, and it drops in. Going coast to coast though is Shaw Tate over to third base. So, boy oh boy, that called out trying to steal second base. Costly here for Hutt Valley.
Yeah, Katie Smith out in the right field. I don't know if she might have got to that, but I don't know if she was aware that the runner was going around. It was just a bit too casual how they threw it in, and you give Denver a little inch, and she might have taken it. I know Caitlin Lewin definitely would have if she had got it. But with two runners on, one out,
I'll tell you
who do you want it back?
Yeah, Lara Andrews now, one of the most experienced campaigners, often running as Lewin. They won't throw to her down there. One of the things you might see as you look at Lewin getting dirty, you can see the pylon from there and the shade that it casts across the diamond. What that means is the sun is starting to set in that area. Maybe Katie Smith blinded by the sun a little bit as she was coming in, because it would have been an amazing catch if she had made it, but she was going, eased a little, and maybe it just got caught in the sun.
Oh, most definitely. It's that time of the day.
Hardliner and just comes off the glove of Nielsen. That's costly. And they will score 2 on it. Lara Andrews, just as you mentioned, right woman, right place, right time. A hard hit ball. Should have been taken by the shortstop, but still hard hit by Andrews.
Oh, it's just quality, and that's the veteran styling of Lara Andrews to just get a piece and know that she had 2 runners in scoring position, that she needed to find a bit of green. She'll come out and let Wamere Western have a run for it.
Well, it does move the scoreline. 4 runs to 2 now to Hutt Valley, converting here in the bottom of the 5th innings. Hutt Valley, though, prime opportunity here to try and break this one open. It'll send up the bat lace, Tangiano. Goes to the first pitch, there's Tangiano. Big throw, wow. Looking for the play. What a play! She's done it again in the ball game. She's been outstanding at centre field, Isabel Thompson. That one, a top level play.
That was unreal. What did I say about the cannon before? That was awesome. Dead to rights with that throw, and the slide just probably didn't even need to. That was out all day. Beautiful.
All day long. Not before Lara Andrews drives one off the glove of the shortstop, Lily Nielsen, and that'll give Hutt Valley 2 runs, 2 very valuable runs. They've been at a premium. The score now 4 runs to 2 as we head to the top of the 6th. We'll be back with more action here live from ELE Sports Stadium and the NFC.
Within the ELE group, we have a range of companies and a very wide range of people. We have 3 core values: growing together. That means with our staff, our stakeholders, and of course with people like you, our customers. Building tomorrow today to build a better tomorrow for us and our customers. And thirdly, keeping it real. Doing things that are going to work for everybody and being mindful of the fact that we're not a corporate, we still have a family feel about our business.
Well, it's been a fantastic match-up here between Hutt Valley and Southern Pride. Southern Pride looking to return the favour in the top of the 6th innings, because Hutt Valley just jumped out to a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 the scoreline now.
Yeah, very much needed innings there from Hutt Valley to claw 2 back and take this lead, but
second pitch pops up. Blackmore will shield that one into the sun at centre field and make the catch.
Outfield and pop-up catches in this game. How many outfields have been at 1? Not really.
Can I say, Rebecca Taylor, home plate umpire, outstanding. Always up for a good chat.
There's been a lot of catches,
tell you what,
actually.
I reckon should make a good cup of tea. There'd be the biscuits on those special plates. Enjoyable. Blackmore say, I'll take this one too. 3 pitches, 2 outs here. They're happy about the top of the 6th innings, Hutt Valley. Southern Pride will set up the bat here. Brooke Pennicott now Thompson and Munro going down in 3 pitches as we just saw. This one's outside.
9 hit to the outfield and 6 of them have been caught.
That tells the tale, doesn't it? Good defense, good range, good positioning. This one's up top. Luke Coyle continues to work on the hill here. Thrown all the pitches in this game for Hutt Valley so far, the same as Sutherland on the flip side for Southern Pride.
Definitely using the Arsenal and using it as like she's a veteran.
This one pops up, comes back to the screen. It'll go foul.
One hand, one bounce.
Well, I tell you what, playing softball, no matter, you can play it in the schoolyard, you can play it on the International Diamond like here at Freeman Field.
Imagine.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Here we go. Let's find out what type of wardrobe malfunction it is down there.
Just the helmet.
Just the helmet.
2-1.
2-1 the count now. Petticoat punches one. Be a long-ranging catch if they can make it. Well, the fence kind of puts the break out at left field for replacement outfielder Nania Matangi.
I think that might have been a bit of sun as well, because you almost ran to and almost diverted the other way. But it is definitely setting right in their eyes.
This is the time of the day the sun can affect the fielders. At certain angles of the height of the trajectory of the ball when it's been hit. Here's another one. Same location, a little deeper this time. Matangi ranging back. What a catch!
Beautiful.
Boy, oh boy, we've seen some great plays today, Damien. That's got to be one of the best.
Another one, and she was running back. She was off foot and with the sun, and to put that glove up and get it,
We must be setting
outstanding
some
catch.
record for outfield catches. Because I've paid no one. There's
Yep.
been about 2 or 3 outs at first, and all the rest have been.
Let's take a little peep into the umpire here as he talks to the official scorers. And just getting the statistics. There you go.
The majority of the outs have been on the out.
Yeah, absolutely.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that.
No strikeouts in the match, either side, Damien.
7 apiece.
Ian Didford doing the eye score down there when the official umpires. Viddy Flanagan down there assisting, a spotter. But scorer in chief, Lil Nartana, down here doing this game. Boy, we are lucky to have her. She is outstanding.
Yep, there's also for Hutt Valley. So the last stat, what was it, 6 from 9 caught in the outfield. This one, Hutt Valley, they've had the same as well.
Well, Hutt Valley got a couple of bullets on the bench there. Landros, the pitcher, but she can hit as well. Beside her, Yvonne Burgess nodding her head, sitting down. So they have got some firepower on the bench if required. And of course, Attila Tavite sitting there with a green t-shirt on. 3 big batters sitting there if they choose to bring them in to try and ram the nail in the coffin, as they say.
Well, we're at the bottom of the 6th, the penultimate innings of this one. 2 runs ahead, Hutt Valley. They want a couple insurance runs. They want it wide in that gap. And just like they did in the last one, use their experience, use the ball, put it away from the centre fielder.
Ashley Johnson.
Second base.
My apologies. Yes, Ashley Johnson's playing second base, up to bat now.
Right.
I was going to say her name 3 times before I could get it out, I suppose,
I was
right?
just waiting for the last time, yeah.
Ashley Johnson. Is it Groundhog Day?
1 strike.
Okay. She's an outstanding player. She deserves to have a name said, that's for sure. One of the regulars at second base for Sky Sports White Sox. And there's the reason why. Look at that. Just sat there patiently waiting and the different deliveries and just kind of makes that look easy, doesn't she? She just trots into second base.
The finesse of that swing to just get that right spot in between left, centre. Mate, that's where you want to hit it, and that's exactly where it almost looked like it's exactly where she wanted to hit it.
Well, the game's live from Freeman Field, Diamond 1 here at Ely Sports Stadium. All the women's matches. And they'll continue with the action. 5 o'clock was the due start time for the next match here. But obviously that's going to be a little later than that, maybe a half an hour. We're running behind time. We'll just see how we're going. Wellington, Canterbury. It'll be Miriam Potter starting for Wellington against Amy Begg. So we have the Wellingtonian ladies in the booth with us. Hope Weber should be at third base in that game, and Apireta Stone should be over at first. So two of those senior veterans in the corners for Wellington. Young Potter on the hill against Amy Beggs in Canterbury. So that game should kick off about 5:30. Normally the games start about 10 to 15 minutes after the completion of the one before it. So that'll be more action for you to come here from Freeman Field. One more game after that. It's going to be a huge one, I think. Probably the best game of the day if it doesn't beat this one. Bunt play, textbook. Sacrifice a bunt there, moves the runner over the third base. And that's at 7 o'clock scheduled time, so maybe pushed out to about 7:30. That'll be Auckland taking on Hutt Valley. Hutt Valley get through this one. They're undefeated going into that match. Auckland just dropped the one game so far. And remember, of course, that was on day one.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a match here. 7:30, depending on the next one. Live on skysportnext on the YouTube channel, mate. It's got everything ready for it to be the main event of the day.
Sure does indeed. So stay tuned. We'll bring all the live action. The Golden Homes National Fastpitch Championship on behalf of Softball New Zealand in conjunction with Ballpark Broadcasting. Palace Potter now. With only one away, runner in scoring position 60 feet at third base. Tries the outside edge, does Sutherland.
Still can't believe I didn't notice there wasn't a strikeout until the umpire actually mentioned it. It's been one of those games, people are hitting, but people are fielding as well.
Down low.
Catching.
You can see Sutherland not tempted to take on Potter too much here in this at-bat, to be fair.
Well, you also don't want to change up what you've done the whole game. Well, I mean, within reason, you want to keep them guessing, keep progressing throughout the game, but it's working for them. Apart from the two runs in the last, this Pride side should definitely have pride in it.
You should definitely have pride in it. I can't agree with you more, Damien. We'll try and get some results for you from the other diamonds here on day 2 at the NFC. Luckily for us, we've got a young fella in the booth who'll help us along those lines. But we've got plenty of time for that. That's okay. He's busy putting the graphics together for the next matchup for us. Hard hit ball, the dive at second base. Can't grab the pace of the bat from Potter. Knew she was dangerous at this point, and she drives in an insurance run here late in the ball game for Hutt Valley. They now lead 5-2.
No, you know Palace Potter, she can move the ball, and she just got it just out of reach of Hayley Munro at second base there. There's nothing that she could do to get to it. She tried everything. Palace Potter safe on first, scoring the runner of Ashley Johnston at home.
Well, we talked about them having some big boppers on the bench here, and we're just listening in to see who's coming into the ball game.
14 out. So 15 out. 18.
There you go. That's why Lil Narton is the chief scorer here at the tournament. She knew before the umpire even said it. Isn't that fantastic? Tila Tavite, one of the big boppers on the bench for Hutt Valley. She gets a chance now to come in to try and ram the door shut. Hutt Valley batting in the bottom of the 6th innings with a lead of 3 now against Sutherland and the Priders.
We know Tavite can move the ball. She's watched the first one go down the zone, but Attila, she can definitely move the ball. And now that they've got 3 runs ahead, they'll be just looking to just put more nails in the coffin and then 3 out, 3 down so they don't have to bat again. But if they do have to, they want to get more runs on the board.
Well, I mentioned just before, Hutt Valley obviously go undefeated against Auckland tonight if they win this game. Excuse me, of course, Wellington just pulled off a great game against Hutt Valley and getting the win in that one. What a fantastic battle that is. Of course, they'll both go into that match with one loss apiece. Interesting enough, Damien, I mentioned that Auckland coming with one loss. Who was that against? Same team, Wellington. So Wellington's pipped Hutt Valley. They've pipped Auckland. Wellington up and down a stone, and Hope Webber's girls, they're the real deal here at the 2021 NFC.
Yeah, Wellington won it.
The DR going to
They
one,
definitely are
and we
here
have the re-entry.
to make that final, and if not make
18,
it, win it.
14.
But there'll be a couple teams that want the same. They've just started the tournament the right way. Waimere Western back out there for
That's
some
an easy
running
phone
on
club
the
behind
first.
you, isn't it?
Erin Blackmore at bat now. What can she do? She put down a glorious bunt before in the last innings.
Well, we talked about her ability to start something, and she did. Remember, it was all locked up at 2 runs apiece at that point, 1 out at the bottom of the 5th innings. And then she's that sneaky running bunt that almost fooled the umpires, let alone the defence.
Bravo!
Hit and run play. Goes foul though. Gotta say, it's great to have all of our followers across the country and supporting us in this one. And I'm going to give a big shout out to one of the best supporters around the country, doing a great job at the Punaki Governing Cup, Frankie Francis Pearson. Good to have you along supporting, of course, Wellington. And by the way, as soon as I mentioned Wellington and Hutt Valley were undefeated, boy, oh boy, did she tell me off in a text message.
Oh, Frankie will, mate. She will. Frankie will definitely tell you off. Nice work.
She means business, but she's got a heart of gold, that's for sure. Great to have people like that in our game of softball, Damien.
Absolutely. We're one big happy family around the traps, and it's definitely you and I. We're 9 times out of 10 welcome back at PK. No, Frankie, good work on calling Chopper out there.
3-1.
3-1 now, the count. Hard hit ball up the middle. Thompson can't gather it. First faux pas we've seen from the centre fielder all day long. To be fair, she had to hustle because Hutt Valley were going to send the base runner from 2 every time in that play.
Yeah, she is human, because that was literally the first error of what it bounced off her shin. I mean, it is what it is. But the cannon on it, did you see that arm like almost getting the runner at second? Whew, she's got heat.
Top of the shop now, Denver Shaw Tate. She's had herself a mixed bag today.
Right.
But she was part of those 2 runs that scored in the bottom of the 5th innings that have given not the confidence, but definitely the beginning of the making of these lead that they have now, 6 runs to 2.
Yeah, remember Denver, she came up to make a difference at last at bat. If Blackmore didn't get tagged out at first, Denver probably would have gone for the bunt, but she didn't, and she moved the runner and got herself in scoring position in the last at bat. And that's just the quality player that she is, and she might even do it this time around.
We have an update from level off field, Diamond 2. It's the other Hutt Valley and the other Southern Pride team taking on each other
Bravo!
in the men's section. And real close one over there too, Damien. Only 3 runs to 1 to Hutt Valley over there on level off field. So Southern Pride and Hutt Valley just locked in battle here, both fields, women and men, here at the NFC.
It's awesome to see.
One
It's
ball,
awesome to
2
see
strikes.
such great close games happening around the park. We haven't seen too many blowouts or even close to just yet. Yes, Hutt Valley inching away with this one from the Pride, but it doesn't really reflect how much the Southern Pride has put into this game. These ladies should be very proud of everything that they've done in the last few games here on Diamond 1 today. Short tape pops it up. Lily Nielsen goes back and makes the catch to retire the side.
Not before Hutt Valley, though. Strike up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th innings. You've got to say, Damien, good teams know when to put the foot down, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, Chopper. I mean, we've talked about the experience. We've talked about these players at this Hutt Valley side. And it just shows, you know, inching away and getting 4 runs in the last two innings. Important runs late in the game. And the way that the fielding as well, Chopper, that you know, we've talked about the experience, but also the youth that we've got on the mound. Luke Royal, she's having a game.
She's having herself a real game here, that's for sure. A couple of substitutions happening down there for Hutt Valley. And they're just tidying that up for them before we get into the next innings. Umpiring crew doing a good job out there as well. Rebecca Taylor behind the dish, Kevin Sheehy out at 2, and Ray Dyson at first base. Just a smooth affair when you've got good umpiring crew, good scoring crew, and of course if you've got the quality of these 2 teams out there on the diamond, isn't it?
Well, this is the elite of the elite. We've got the best scorers, we've got the best umpires, we've got the best players. This is what it's all about. Leilani Tarmai back into the game with Tavite batting for her last innings.
Oh, and now is the time.
Caitlin Lewins moved to second.
Top of the 7th innings here, Damien. So last chance Sunday, if you like, in this matchup, game 28 for the Pride team. Could be better to send up, though, Katie Smith to lead off here. Then they'll go back to top of the shop, Tessa Brown and Lauren Sutherland. You're right, couple of defensive changes for Hutt Valley. Lewin comes in from right field into play at second base, and it looks like Yvonne Burgess is coming to take over in the outfield. So just a couple of quick changes. Ashley Johnson getting a break.
When talking to Katie Smith before about the differences in level.
Andrews plays that one well. Plays that one really well. Young third baseman there in that play, Damon, would normally come forward to that ball. She recognises the bounce, took a step back, gave herself some time to make a good glove, and then a strong arm to finish it off.
Most definitely. It shows the quality of the players where they know that they can attack. They know that if push came to shove, they can run and scoop a ball, but they also know to read the field, to read the ground that they're playing on, and know that the bounce is going to happen. And if you ever just watch Lara, the way that she almost mimics how she's going to play, or the play that she's just done, she's always teaching herself, always talking to herself, and she's a hell of a role model for young players, male and female, around the country to look to of how to play third base, or as a baller in general.
Makes a difference. That's for sure. Will it be the difference maker in this one? We'll find out as we get down to the last 2 outs here. On the Maya, Luke Royal continues to work here deep into the 7th innings. Only given up 3 hits on the day here. Couldn't be any better, Damien.
No, the young lady.
Hard hit ball. Bobbled. Lewin regathers, but not in time. Not often you see Caitlin Lewin make an error, but it was hard hit.
It was hard hit. She had to get to it and take a moment there once she had gathered it. But the throw was off. Even if she had got the throw in time, it was off. And Pride now have that important runner on with 1 out, because this is their last bat.
Just what the doctor ordered for Southern Pride. Lauren Sutherland now.
She's had a great day on the mound, on Sutherland, and she can bat as well. So here we go.
This one just falls down, unfortunately, just drops out of the way. Watching the players, though, staying at a high level.
Sutherland sacrifice bunt in the first that drove the runner around. She hit 8. She got on base for a double in the second. She was caught by the first base and a foul ball in the 5th. And now, what will happen in the 7th? 2-1 count.
Off and running. Designated runners in for the game. And the slide around the outside is good. Samantha Fawcett Kay pulling off a beauty.
Hold on arm though, but just out of, just a step too forward there from Denver. Running, but good matchup by the two of them.
That'll level it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes now. As we mentioned, next game up here from Freeman Field of Diamond 1. It'll be Wellington taking on Canterbury. To be fair, it's a double header of excellent matches up. Wellington, Canterbury, Auckland, Hutt Valley. All coming up for you after this. Hutt Valley, Southern Pride. I mean, it's just back-to-back outstanding matchups, isn't it, Damien?
Absolutely. The Wahine having the feature on Diamond 1 today. The men had their turn yesterday. The women showing us how it's done today, and it has been masterclass from start to now. And we ain't finished till
Miller
later.
Glassy, first pitch. This could be trouble. It's over the top. They will be off to their haunches now. Coming around the corner to score 1. Will Sutherland get the go-ahead? This could be trouble. She is out at the plate. Pushing the boundaries, Sutherland to the edge. A dynamic hit from the first baseman, Glassy. Maybe a slight rush of blood in the head of Sutherland because, boy, oh boy, grandstand finish. We're heading that direction.
Yeah, Tessa Brown, she crossed home plate pretty easy, but Lauren Sutherland, I know she would have been listening to the coach, and I know she would have been following the heels of Tessa Brown, but maybe, just maybe, she should have held on that one and have 2 runners in scoring position.
They do pick up a run, do Southern Pride here in the top of the 7th inning. So within 3 now, 6 runs to 3. Head coach Telfer down at third base.
Right.
Either way, whether she was listening or not, whose decision it was, I'm sure he would love to have her back at third base at this point. Lily Nielsen. Been hot to trot. 2 hits to left field. 1 error off the shortstop because she's smashing it.
Strike.
And just like that, commentator's curse, 2 strikes on her.
It is real, people. It is real. Luke Royal looks like she's going to go to distance in this one, and mate, tip of the cap to the young lady. Don't tell Adrian though.
On the back of it. Looking long, looking large, but not when there's Erin Blackmore at centre field, takes an outstanding over-the-shoulder running catch. And that'll complete this one. A fantastic pitched game from Rungamai Luke Royal and an awesome Titanic matchup between the Southern Pride and Hutt Valley. Today, it's Hutt Valley's win, 6 runs to 3.
An outstanding game where Southern Pride should definitely hold their heads up high, taking it to this elite Hutt Valley side. It was anyone's ball game with 2 apiece after the first, but really sticking it to each other. Great outfielding by Thompson and Smith out there. Hell of a pitch from Sutherland on the mound. But yeah, all in all, great game from the 2 teams.
Fantastic game. Got to say, Hutt Valley, though, when they got a sniff, Blackmore sparked them off in the bottom of the 5th innings. They took their opportunity, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. We know that's the quality that they are. And when you've played top level softball, regardless if it's in the jersey or at this level, you pick up a thing or two, and that the experience of Hutt Valley, they definitely utilise that later in the game to get ahead in those last 2 innings.
Well, there you go. It's Hutt Valley that win this one. Coming up next from Freeman Field, Diamond 1, Wellington will take on Canterbury in game number 31 on the schedule. Ooh. Don't change the dial. Don't go away. We'll actually find the next live broadcast. Won't be far away on the YouTube next, Sky Sport next platform. Great to have you along for it. On behalf of Sopper New Zealand and Ballpark Broadcasting, Simon Watson doing the switching on this one. JP Goobies on all over the graphics. Damien Collins. I've been Jason Goobies. We'll see you all in just a short moment.
Okay.